Hello everyone, welcome to the next episode of Learn With Me. Today I'm going to share with you a P6 percentage question. So it is a question where students will usually make a mistake in. So now let's read the question and find out what type of question it is. William had some English and Chinese books. 60% of the books were English. He donated 20% of his English books and 10% of his Chinese ones. So usually what I will do is I will get students to circle the numbers and underline the keywords. In this case, they can focus on the numbers that they should work on. And here in the end, 60 more English than Chinese books. Let's start to solve this question. Since 60% of the books were English, 40% will be the Chinese books. Here comes the mistake. What students will do is that since he donated 20% of his English books, they will just minus 20% from the 60%, leaving it with 40%, and do the same for the Chinese books. This is an absolute no-no. It is a mistake that students will usually make. So how do we mitigate this problem? What students should have done is that 20% of his English books, they can actually convert this 20% to a fraction. So 20% converted into a fraction will be 20 out of 100, and that will make 1/5 when it's simplified. And we'll put 1/5. And for 10%, we will do the same. And 10% as a fraction will be 1/10. So once we have converted it to a fraction, I think it's easier for students to understand. Now it will be read as he donated 1/5 of his English books and 1/10 of his Chinese ones. Let me show you the correct method now. So 60% is still the English books at first, and then 40% will be the Chinese books at first. And he donated 1/5 of his English books. 1/5 of his English books. In math, of means times. So 1/5 of the English will mean 1/5 times 60%. So divide by 5, divide by 5, and that's 12%. So you will subtract 12% instead of the 20% just now. So the correct percentage to actually subtract will be 12% because 1/5 of 60% is actually 12%. And we'll do the same for the Chinese. And 10% of Chinese will be 1/10 times 40, and that will make 4%. Now in the end, English, he will be left with 48% of the original, while the Chinese will be 36%. And now, in the end, he had 60 more English than Chinese books. The difference in percentage will be 48% minus 36%, that's 12%. And this 12% will be the 60 more English books. 1% will make 60 divided by 12, that's 5. And how many books, English books, did William have at first? So the number of English books that William had at first was 60%, and we will look for 60%. And 60 times 5, that will make 300, and that will be the final answer. In summary, to help yourself nail this type of questions, what you can do is when you see a question which is a percentage of a percentage, you will convert that into a fraction first to reduce the chances of you just subtracting from the percentage itself. I hope it helps. So leave us in the comments what type of questions you would like us to feature, and we'll do so in our future episodes. Bye bye!